So this is one of my all-time favorite special teams drill. I got this drill from John Baxter, who at the time in the early 2000s was the special teams coach at Fresno State University. And what was really cool about Fresno State under Pat Hill at the time is high school coaches were always welcome at practice. So I wasn't married. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have any kids. So there were a lot of times where we would finish practice at the school I was at the time, Madera, and I would just slide by Fresno State, see if they were practicing, and we just walk right out there. So I had the opportunity to see this and many other drills take place, but he took the time at a clinic to explain this to me and a buddy, and we've used it ever since. And if you think about life on the savannah, you've got hunters and you've got the hunted, and oftentimes the hunters they don't need any help. They can catch the hunted just fine on their own. But if you really want a good prey, you're going to have to level up a little bit. You can't just go after the lions. Can't just always eat the scrawniest and the oldest gazelles. The meteor gazelles, the in their prime gazelles. Sometimes they take a little work. They need help. You need help from your other lions to capture the nice lunch. So that's why we call this drill lions and gazelles. In this drill, you're going to have 3 lions chasing after 1 gazelle. The purpose of the drill is to teach coverage players to maintain and to keep or even regain leverage on the ball. The idea being is if I'm a kickoff coverage player or I'm a punt coverage player and the ball is going to land in the ball carrier's hands on my right shoulder, I want to keep it to my right shoulder. I also have to understand where my help is and where my help isn't. The further to the outside of the kickoff team, the closer to the sideline I am. On the punt team, the more help I have to the inside than to my right. So if I'm L1 on kickoff, all of my help is to my right. And I've got to understand also, I'm not the only player on the field. I've got to help my teammates make tackles also. So I've got to know how to break a ball carrier down. I've got to learn how to come to balance. I've got to learn how to change direction. I've got to learn how to track the hip. I've got to learn how to avoid contact, and I've got to learn how to make contact. And the way this drill is set up, ideally, if you're thinking kickoff and kick return, this is in that last zone. So we have that launch zone where we're reaching full speed. We have that avoid zone where we don't want to get blocked by frontline blockers. We have that strike zone where we do need to come down, break down, strike, peek, separate. This drill covers that next spot. So if I'm a lion and if I'm a ball carrier, if I'm a ball carrier, as coaches, we need to discover the kids who can take open space and make people miss in space. And a lot of times we don't have those kids. Maybe they have the skills, but they didn't grow up in an environment where they were able to play a whole lot of sports like in the backyard or down the street. So we can develop those types of players using this type of drill. Ball carriers got to be able to make full speed decisions and ultimately run over the goal line or goal lines without breaking stride. So here's the setup. And you can use any yard line. It just makes sense here to use the 50. But the goal line is the 50-yard line. So the primary goal for the gazelle or the ball carrier is to cross that 50-yard line. And the sidelines are the restraining lines, whatever you want to call them, is one sideline and one middle of the field. So we'll put cones there. Now, the lions, so these are the kickoff or the punt coverage guys. They have to start on the 43-yard line or 7 yards from the goal line, on their side of the goal line. And when you start the drill, when you first get going with the drill in spring or early in fall, in the summertime maybe, and this is a drill we've done as part of our workout routine. So we'll cut out bag drills or we'll cut out some cone drills and we'll do this type of thing because this is real life. This drill allows us to practice football in a high intensity, high speed, low impact, no contact environment. So the Lions, they need to start, and they really ultimately can start anywhere behind 7 yards from the goal line, but at the beginning, we'll place cones out so the kids have an idea of where to start, and so for drill maintenance and that kind of thing. The Gazelle, he's the ball carrier. He can start anywhere behind his 40. If he sees one of the Lions or one of the coverage guys as kind of a weaker link, he might start over here. Or he might want to start in the middle so he can use the whole field to his advantage. But he's got to start behind his 40 or 10 yards from whichever line you decide to use as the goal line. So there is a scoring system, and you can use this as part of a house program where you track scores throughout the year. Or you can just do push-ups. So in this case, you can hand out one push-up, one, two, one or three. You don't want the push-ups to be the point. The push-ups are just kind of a friendly reminder. But for the Lions, if the Lions are able to get 4 hands on the returner and control him on the returner's side or on the Gazelle side of the 50-yard line of the goal line, then the Lions team gets 1 point. If the Lions are able to, let's say the Gazelle kind of wants to outsmart the Lions and just takes straight off at the goal line, then if the Gazelle or the Lions can get 2 hands on that Gazelle on the Gazelle side of the goal line, then that'll also be 1 point for the Lions. The Lions can get 4 points if they get 4 hands on him on the Gazelle side of the 40. So this is where guys get too cute. They want to dance around. The Lions understand that. They close the gap. They take the space, and they're able to take a dancer down before he's gained any yards. So how can the Gazelle score? Like I said earlier, the Gazelle's goal is to cross this goal line right here. And if he can cross that goal line right there with less than 2 hands getting on him, then he can get 1 point. Or alternately, maybe the Lions do 2 push-ups. Now, let's say the Gazelle is able to get through all of this, get past the 50 untouched, and then get beyond the 40 untouched. Then the Gazelle can get 3 points, or you can give the Lions, say, 5, 10 push-ups, that kind of thing. We don't want to make running and we don't want to make push-ups the point. It's just a quick way for everybody to see, hey, I won, you lost. What we've done in the past also is when we split this thing up into groups is we've given extra credit points for celebrations. We want our kids to have fun at practice. We want our kids to have fun with each other. We want our kids to celebrate with each other. We want to avoid a Gazelle who wins a drill turning around and taunting a Lion. Instead, we would rather see Gazelles who are waiting in line go and celebrate and love up the guy who scored. Alternately, if the Lions are able to get a 2-point win, seeing those 3 guys celebrate with each other instead of turn to the sideline and do some type of a Superman thing, we want to be focused on each other. So let's take a look at some examples. At this point, if I did have video of this drill, I deleted it. I can't find it. I don't know. I don't have any video of the drill. I hope you add that to this tutorial later. As you'll notice here, I've added some extra cones. I reoriented them. You can just maybe put double cones here. I just have them on the ground pointing inside to show the Gazelle where the ultimate goal line is. If he's trying to hit a home run, that's where it needs to go. So we're going to look at one common failure that happens, and then the next slide we'll look at some common wins. So in this situation, this left Lion, he loses leverage on the ball. So what I mean by that is right now the ball is leveraged on his right shoulder. If he's doing this drill correctly and then covering a kick correctly, he's trying to keep leverage on the ball at the same time while taking space between him and the ball. We want to close that gap, track that hip, and be in a near foot, maintain a near shoulder, near hip, near foot situation on the Gazelle. So the Gazelle chooses this line to pick on. This line forgets, I have help, I need help, and lets the Gazelle outside. Now, even in this situation, if the Lion were to get 2 hands on the Gazelle, it's not enough. The Gazelle is going to score, is going to earn the point with 2 hands crossing the goal line. So in this example, this is a win for the Lions. So the left lion got coached up. Coach told him, look, we've got to get 4 hands on him. You only have 2 hands. Your teammates have 2 hands each. There's 4 other hands to your right for a total of 6 hands. So let's play the odds. So if I force the Gazelle to cut back, he's going to break his stride. And when he breaks his stride, the Lions are going to continue to close ground on the Gazelle. And so this lion starts to understand that. He closes the gap with the Gazelle. He breaks down, is able to track the hip, maintain leverage. Ultimately, the Gazelle gets impatient. The ball carrier gets impatient because he knows I've got to cross 50 to score. He cuts back in, and this lion has given his buddies enough time to recover. We get 4 hands on the Gazelle, which on the savannah means we're going to eat well tonight. And again, what's really neat about these drills is we can go full speed and it's low contact. So long as coaches, we're maintaining the tempo of the drill, this is about as much conditioning as you might ever need.